Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to make a brief contribution to debate on the Tobacco Legislation Closure Orders Amendment Bill 2025. I want to state from the outset that I support the bill. These laws are a step in the right direction, but it isn't and it shouldn't be the end of the story. There is always more work to be done. Communities are rightly alarmed. Almost every single day, I speak to someone in my community concerned by the explosion of tobacconists opening on our streets, often near schools, business centres and transport hubs. Our communities are expecting us to take action, and with this bill, we work to address this in a bipartisan manner. Over 20,000 tobacconists are now operating in New South Wales, with 5,000 of those opening in the last 4 years. This is despite the federal government outlawing vapes and smoking rates being on a consistent decline. So, why is it happening? What these figures tell us is that there is a regulatory blind spot being exploited by those seeking to profit from organised crime. These illegitimate tobacconists aren't the small, unassuming shops of the past. We've seen examples of tobacconists using labubus and, more commonly, at least in my electorate, lollies and confectionery with convenience-style shops to lure in young teenagers and risking locking in another generation addicted to tobacco. What we're seeing in our communities is widespread exploitation and drastic health impacts for our local communities, while organised criminals wrestle over a profitable billion-dollar trade. Those tobacconists doing the wrong thing are threatening decades of public health progress. Smoking remains among the leading preventable causes of death in this state and in this country. None of us in this parliament want to see the undermining of public health progress in this space. By increasing tobacco availability and visibility, these outlets selling illicit tobacco undermine the hard-fought reductions in smoking rates achieved through coordinated and bipartisan public health efforts. I'd like to acknowledge and commend the work of the Coalition, and specifically acknowledge the leadership shown by the Shadow Minister for Health, Kelly Sloan. She and I have had long discussions about this issue and how we can address it. I also acknowledge the Government and the Health Minister for following the Coalition's lead on this vital public health and law and order initiative. I came to Parliament to work in a bipartisan way and to transcend partisan politics in order to make a real difference. I know the Coalition will seek to move amendments to strengthen this bill, and I support those amendments to shut down dodgy operators and subject them to the toughest penalties in the country for profiting off organised crime. Let me be clear, this bill is a step in the right direction, but there is more to do. I place on record my commitment to continue working across the chamber on this issue. I want to thank everyone in my community for engaging with me on this issue, and to my constituents I say this Parliament is listening and acting on this important issue. I thank the House.
Thank you.